Great British Bake Off 2023 star Rowan, 21, said meeting Brummie star Alison Hammond was one of his highlights. When Alison chuffing Hammond walked towards the tent, a laugh as warm as the ovens themselves, it was a moment I'll never forget. I literally melted down my bench. He added, she has a way of making everyone feel like an old friend of hers. Research assistant Josh, 27, said she was very bubbly, adding, it didn't take long to hear a trademark Alison laugh. In fact, I heard her before I saw her for the first time. Tasha, 27, a participation officer, agreed, we all knew Alison had arrived before we even saw her because everyone could hear her laughing. She came armed with welcome snacks for the baker's green room. We loved her immediately. Amos, 43, said he'd enjoyed dancing with Alison, 48, at any given opportunity, while Keith, 60, described her as a force of nature, and 50-year-old Saku said it had been crazy making TikTok videos with her. Tasha is the first deaf contestant on the long-running series and is accompanied by her BSL interpreter Daryl. She said, I couldn't have done it without him and without the dedication from the show ensuring I had the same access as the other bakers. Abby, 27, Cumbria veg grower, delivery driver Yorkshire-born Abby, is enthralled by the Victorian era and especially the traditional bakes of the time, steamed puddings and fruit cakes. A lover of the great outdoors, she forages for seasonal ingredients and uses her homegrown veg. Amos, 43, North London deli manager, film and theatre enthusiast. Amos grew up in Nottingham and compares his baking style to the converted church he now lives in, calling both his style and home traditional with a modern twist. Christy, 33, East London mum, PA with 4 children. She's never too far from a birthday and Christy describes her baking style as enchanted and pretty. Cakes are her speciality, and she draws flavor inspiration from her Israeli heritage and from her husband's Jamaican roots. Dan, 42, Cheshire civil engineering planner. Dan was taught how to make pastry by his mother-in-law and his passion for pies later evolved into a penchant for patisserie. He has more than 300 cookbooks to inspire. Trade and enjoys experimenting in the kitchen, taking inspiration from old baking books. A keen rugby player who dreams of opening an artisan bakery, once a month he bakes treats to reward his teammates. Keith, 60, Hampshire chartered accountant. Keith has never stopped baking since being taught apple pies and fairy cakes by his Maltese mother as a youngster. Recently, he has returned to the baking books of the early 1970s to attempt recipes that were beyond him and has grown in confidence. Matty, 28, Cambridgeshire PE science teacher. Matty has never been more impressed than he was with the teddy bear cake that his late nan made him for his 4th birthday. He's hoping to top it when he makes his own wedding cake, a special commission from his fiancée Lara. Nikki, 52, West Midlands retired cabin crew, volunteer. Nikki describes her baking as, like a pair of comfy old slippers and loves making bread and birthday cakes for her grandchildren. Nikki volunteers for a pet therapy charity, along with her dog, Bracken, and loves to ski. Rowan, 21, West Yorkshire student, this year's youngest baker. With a motto of, go big or go home, likes to express his grand, opulent side in his bakes, wowing his uni friends with his creations. To mark his 21st birthday he made a 12-layer extravaganza, over 3 tiers. Saku, 50, Herefordshire intelligence analyst Sri Lankan-born Saku places the traditional flavours of her homeland at the heart of her baking and reckons curry spices make for the best pie fillings. Self-taught, she relishes using vegetables from her garden and bakes for her children's lunchboxes. Tasha, 27, Bristol participation officer. Tasha is deaf and was accompanied on the show by her sign language interpreter Daryl. Her baking is like her attitude to life, fearless, and she also loves going to the theatre to see West End shows. The Great British Bake Off returns next Tuesday at 8 p.m. on Channel 4.